Hello ladies and gentlemen of the Starcraft Nation, Zoya here from the Starcraft Squad, bringing you a best of 3 from the Black Dragon League. Spawning over here in the red protoss is PwRelfi. Elfie is an amazing player, extremely strong protoss player, extremely underknown though. He's not one of the most renowned players out there, but he's definitely really good. And then over here, as the blue Terran, is mouzStrelok. Everyone knows Strelok. The end. Like, there's nothing more you can say about Strelok. He's insane. He's a force to be feared. He's an amazing Terran player. That was a cool little face thing, like an army of little, serious faces. Now, of course, this is on the European server. I believe day 9, and I forget who else was casting the little tournament league. Now, mouzStrelok throwing down a barracks. Getting a good chrono boost on pros. The main problem with a lot of lower level protoss players is you're not constantly using your chrono boost, as what I've learned from my user submitted videos. They just, within the first 10 minutes of the game, they've already racked up 100 energy and are just, not using it for the rest of the game. First Marine being pumped out. Fairly standard stuff so far. Really, nothing more can go on here. It looks like Strelok's getting prepared to wall off. Now we're getting a double gas from Elfie. Cybercore is just now about to finish. Tech Lab going down on the barracks. And then we have 2 Marines here moving out. But good reaction from Elfie, immediately moving that pro away as soon as he sees the Marines on the minimap. Brilliant play there. Now we're getting a 1-gate robo from Elfie. He's got his first stalker out already. Looks like he's going to go try and reclaim the Xel'Naga, and 1 stalker can definitely beat 2 Marines. Now here comes another force. We have an SCV, 2 Marines, and a Marauder. But Elfie does pull back. Needs to be very careful. If he loses that drone, though, he's going to be behind a little bit. Horrible loss at this point in the game, losing that 1 probe. Now, income tab shows 21 harvesters to 23, which is making sense because Elfie, chrono boost and stuff. And now we're getting an Immortal, second gateway. So we got 2 Marauders and 2 Marines, which is very scary against 1 Zealot and 1 Stalker. Chrono boost is, or Warp Gate's not done yet, but our first Immortal's almost here, and once that Immortal's out, it's definitely game over. And it looks like Strelok's a little bit tentative to engage because he knows the Immortal's about to be out. So he is going to fall back. Marauders are horrible against Immortals, guys. Just gonna let you know. They're quite bad. Now we have a 3 racks going down for Strelok. Gonna get an orbital command on his expansion. Bunkering up his main base. So no 1 base heavy, 3-gate robo push doesn't just walk right in easily. Second gas being built. Elfie is expanding. 2 gates are being warped in the warp gates. Don't really have any forward pylons here. We'd like to see 1 here or 1 here so we can warp in his units closer to the front of his game. Preferably right here. Now Observer is moving out across the map. Not really building anything else out of a robo right now. But he is slightly supply blocked, so that would be why. Factory on the way. We got the reactor just not fishing on the barracks. We're seeing lots of Marauders and lots of Marines here. Combat shield stem being researched. We already have concussive shells, so he's going heavy on the research. Like to see the transfer for this command center yet. He's not even really building out of it right now, which is interesting. And we're getting a robotics bay from Elfie. So we're going to be seeing some Colossus in the mix. 3 sentries here. Now a decent sized force here from Strelok. We got 6 Marines, and then 4 Marauders. We're moving to take an expansion. Now that's a pretty good force, especially against this army, where it's just mainly Stalker or mainly Sentry composed, which will just get dominated by this. He also has plenty of Marines to destroy those Immortals fairly quickly. Now income tab shows 31 harvester to 32, so Strelok is able to take a take the time to catch up with his second base, finishing a lot sooner. But since Elfie has the capability of using chrono boost, which he's not really using right now. He's slipping quite a bit. He's at 75 energy right now. I'd like to see a constant chrono boost on either Immortals, Colossus, upgrades, or probes. That would definitely be a way to improve his play just slightly. And we have a decent sized force here. sniping that probe, or excuse me, observer, and then stimming and running up to avoid a pretty good wall. But these zealots here are just destroying this force. And then here comes the Colossus, which is going to clean things up pretty easily, having the high ground advantage. He was able to kill the Immortal, and he did do a lot of damage to this army, but Elfi definitely came out on top of that fight. Now we're getting a second Colossus on the way, external Thermal Lance as well. And right now we need to see a pretty good tech swap. We're getting a lot of medevacs right now, so we're seeing some drops. And hopefully we're seeing a hard Viking swap to take care of these Colossus quite well. Third and fourth gate going down. Finally utilizing those chrono boosts. Probably was saving them up for the Colossus, but I'd like to see a little bit more chrono boost usage on the probes. We want to get as much of an economic lead as possible. Bunkering up his front, and now he's getting the Vikings that we spoke of before. Engineering bay is almost finished, so he's going to start getting +1 a lot sooner than Elfi. Elfi does not have a forge down yet. The Vikings are almost on the field. A good thing to do with Vikings when they're out is to scout around the map. Now, Strelok supply blocked himself pretty hard here. He's got 3 building right now, and it was a pretty hard supply block. Now we have a drop going down at his natural, doing a good amount of damage, picking off a couple probes, and we're going to move over here. Now we got +1 weapons on the way. These Colossus with their terrain walking ability make it really difficult for Strelok to apply a lot of pressure, especially when he's got stalkers moving in. This is not good for Strelok. He needs to focus on these stalkers to be able to get out of there alive. Not bad, but will Elfi get them with these ones? Probably going to be true. Good job from Strelok, you know, picking off those 2 stalkers by dropping those marauders and stimming, doing as much damage as he possibly can before he lost the drop. 2 Marines moving out here. Now, a good thing to do that most players don't do that I wish I did a lot more of is when you have Vikings on the field, look at this Colossus. You need to be scouting around constantly with your Vikings, like just float around the map. I mean, you don't want to be like too crazy with them, but you can be doing a lot of damage by picking these off. Now we have a huge Marauder force here, and we have a huge push from Elfi, but he is pulling back. We do have 2 bunkers here, a third one on the way. External Thermal Lance is finished though. Now here comes the engagement. Vikings are up here on the high ground, focus fighting on this one Colossus, but this is doing so much damage for Elfi. These Colossus are just devouring all these Marauders. But there's so many Vikings on the field, and he's forcing Elfi to fall back. This is just such a huge force from Strelok. The Vikings, the Marines, the Marauders are just devouring this army so fast, losing all of his Colossus in that engagement. Now we have +1 infantry weapons almost finished for Strelok, putting down more bunkers to secure this main. And right now, Strelok needs to expand to regain his, the force he had, just turtle up and expand. But right now he's deciding to throw down 3 more gateways and pump out a lot more infantry units, trying to do a tech swap to waste the Viking time. 2 more barracks are being finished right now. The tech labs are just now ending up, and we're getting +1 armor. Twilight Council's almost finished in Elfi's base. It's immediately getting charged and chrono boosting it. And this is not a very intimidating force from Elfi. If you go to the food counting tab, it's 86 food versus 110, so Strelok definitely has a pretty strong lead here. Income tabs, 50 harvesters for Strelok, 54 for Elfi, so Elfi's been a little bit more proactive with his SCV probe count, whatever you want to call them. Harvesters, that's the proper word, because I'm stupid and I just woke up. High Templar on the way as well, so we're going to be seeing some Storm with those charge lots. Good combination right there. Drop going down here. We got 2 Marauders on the low ground, 2 on the high. We don't have any observers over here, doesn't look like. There's the observer, picking off 2 Marauders and the medevac. Good drops from Strelok, and good job from Elfi for holding off that attack. Now High Templar are on the field now. We have a bunch of Vikings scouting around right now. This is what I was talking about. You scout around with your Vikings, trying to find some stray Colossus roaming across the map to get to the rest of their army. Shark's moving out with a pretty intense force right now. Sonic Storm isn't finished though, so if we see an engagement soon, it's not going to be good. We have all these High Templar without any form of storm. So here comes the charge lots. but they're just getting devoured. The High Templar are just here wasting time. Vikings in the base. They need to land on the middle line. Here they go. They're going to land in the middle line, do some damage here, but this is the main fight. And this is pretty much game over for Elfi. He's got no High Templar. This force is still pretty big, and he's floating in more units from over here. Look over here what the Vikings did. There's some charge lots down and a couple stalkers, so they are holding it off slightly, but here comes the reinforcement. There's the GG from Elfi. Amazing game. Good job to Strelok for winning. Make sure you guys subscribe. I'm Zoe. I'll see you guys in the next video.